Well, here it is, the start of spring. Almost time for another boating season. And during winter I've been giving some thought to a different way to get your boat up onto the back of your trailer after a day sailing. Now, for those of you who have got a spreader bar, you might like to do the lift and jerk, which is just lift and pull up, which is, as you can see, is none too easy, and sometimes it doesn't end up on the roller, so that is quite hard. It's quite hard doing it that way. And even if we do a lift and jerk from this direction, it's not really helping you back much. And this assumes that you've got a spreader bar. So that's the old lift and jerk. And she's up. Now, I've thought of a different method. That's not too easy. Now I'm going to show you a really simple way, and it's using channel grate, the sort of stuff that you put in the ground to take away excess water from the house. So with this little piece of equipment, I'll show you how you can get your boat up onto the trailer dead set easy. So firstly, I'll show you how it's made. Now, about the channel grate that you're going to get. Channel grate looks like this and comes in about 1 metre lengths. What you don't want to do is get rubbish channel grate, some of the stuff that is really cheap. If you're in the shop and you get it off and you just suspend it and try and bend it, some of it will bend quite easily. This stuff will not bend at all. So get some stuff that is strong. You'll pay a bit more for it, but it's worth it in the long run. So, having bought your channel grate, separate it. And then this top bit we're going to screw onto the bottom to give it some extra strength. Screw it on the bottom. Now you'll see that the channel grate is higher one side than the other. Okay, so that's the bit that would go down into the channel. Turn it over and lay it on top of your channel like this, and have a little piece at the end, just over the end. I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, line it up. It'll line up nicely there. Then get your drill some pilot holes through here and here, here and here, here and here, and then you can just use screws. I've just used some old tech screws, so I'm just going to now put that into there. So just So, now having done that, we end up with a channel grate, with the top of the grate now screwed on the bottom in a profile like this. And you've got a little bit on the end, on here, hanging over. Now I'll show you why you need this. Now I'm not really sure of your back roller setup. So my roller is a reasonable way off the bottom of the trailer, but I'll show you now where the channel grate is going to go so that you can slide your boat up it. Now you may wonder what the big dob of silicone is on the side of the boat roller. Often I have to launch my boat in a river when it's too rough in the sea, and when I'm retrieving my boat I sink my trailer into the water. Now on the end of the roller there's a split pin, and the silicone there is just to
stop the boat from rubbing against the split pin. I found that initially when I didn't have that there, the boat would sometimes rub against the side of the split pin, and I've scratched it, so that just stops it from scratching the boat.
Now, because of the profile of the back of my trailer, I've had to bend the channel grate on the end just a little bit along here. So you can see that's been bent. Now, normally that would be straight. The way that I bent it was, it's the Jeff Gray way, was to hold it over the barbecue just near the end, and I just grabbed while I was heating it, yeah, you can put in a lever like this and just bend it. Okay, so while you're heating it, just bend it backwards and wait until it's got into the shape that you want, and then you just dip it in a bucket of cold water and it'll stay bent. Now I'll show you why I bent mine. Now you may not have to bend yours, but I'll show you why I bent mine. Here we have our slider about to go up into, now you can see that the channel grating is right up against that roller, and if you look down here you'll see that where your boat is going to slide ends up just near your roller. Okay, so if your setup will allow, you don't have to bend this, just keep it straight. But if you want to get this to come up in the air a bit further, you're going to need to bend this. Also, by bending it, you'll find that if this tends to move around while you're getting your boat up on the trailer, it'll stay in the groove. Now I'll show you just how easy it is to get your boat up onto the trailer. Now what I've done, I've backed the trailer down onto the beach. So it's about 1 metre away from the boat, and now it's just a matter of putting in the slides. So we'll put that one in there. At this stage the boat isn't lined up with the slides, but we'll do that in a minute. Put this one in here. Interesting to note that this slide has not had any modifications done to it at all. It's just resting there. The bottom part will actually rest in the sand. Now we just line up the front of the boat with the slides, and we probably won't even have to pull it. We'll see how it goes. We'll attach the winch and just pull it up. And if you've got a spreader bar, put your winch underneath the spreader bar and attach it to your boat. At this stage it's probably worthwhile showing what I've done to my boat. I've got a permanent piece of rope attached around the front of the boat. It's very solid, taped up, and it's this that I attach my winch to winch my boat up onto the beach. Now there is no point in having flimsy rope here or anything that's going to break. This has been here now in use for 3 or 4 years. This gets under a fair amount of strain. What you don't want to happen is to have the boat halfway up onto your trailer, have this under a lot of strain, and then for this rope to break. This hook is going to release and come flick back and hit your car, or worse, hit you. So make yourself a nice hook to hook your boat up with. Now I should point out that at this stage your boat is on the roller and it's come out of the slide, so you can now just slide those down. don't leave it up here, because what will happen is the boat will come up through here, and it'll start to try and spread this channel grate, and you may end up with marks on your boat. So at this stage you can just kick your supports out, no longer needed. So there's your other one, that's come up nicely. That also could be just kicked out, walk down here, kick it out, and back to winding your boat. Now I want to go back a few steps to just assure some of you who might be a little bit perturbed about dragging the back of your boat on the sand. These boats are made of rotomolded plastic, and I've had this boat for 8 years and there's no signs of any wear on the bottom yet, so don't worry about dragging your boat over the sand. It's going to last a lot longer than you will. And just another few things, for those of you who haven't seen any of my other videos about how to trailer your Hobie Wave, just one more thing you might want to do before getting your boat up onto the trailer is to secure your mast. And I secure my mast this way. So the mast is just laid across the front of the boat, and there is attached to the front of the boat is just a clip, and this clip will just attach around one of the shackles on the front of the boat, and that way as the boat comes up the ramp the mast won't slide off. So let's take it up the rest of the way and I'll show you how she's done. Now, for the benefit of some other people who may not have seen my video, I have another little innovation which helps in retrieval of the boat on your own. So as you can see, you've got it up on your roller and it's coming up quite nicely. It's in a straight line, and all of a sudden it's going to want to come down, and you're back here winding it on. Now at this stage I've built this little mechanism here, just angled at the right way so that when the front splitter bar hits it, it actually lifts the front of the bow up and over and clear. So there you have your boat all nicely winched on without too much effort at all. Oh, now one more thing. You may be tempted to line your channel grate with some carpet to give your boat something nice and slippery to slide up and to protect the hull. Now, as I said before, they're made of rotomolded plastic, so they're not going to scratch, and this itself is made of plastic, and if you put carpet in there to protect it, all that's going to happen is you're going to get sand in the carpet and you're going to scratch the front of your boat. Leaving it like it is makes it easy to clean, and just throw in the back of the car and there you have it. Easy way to get your boat up onto the trailer for young folks who aren't so strong, old folks like me who are perhaps losing their strength, and just an easier way to get your boat up onto the trailer after a hard day sailing. Okay, well, we'll catch you later out in the water on your Hobie Wave.